Good morning, students. Today, let's start our class with transpiration. So, we are seeing in this lesson about transportation in plants. Now, let's see about transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the evaporation of water in the plants through stomata in the leaves. Stomata are small openings that opens in day and closes at night. The opening and closing of stomata is due to the changes in the turgidity of the guard cells. Guard cells are present in the epidermis of the leaves, so where it opens and closes, so during that the water movements takes place or transpiration takes place. Water evaporate from the mesophyll cells of the leaves through the opening or the open stomata. This lowers the water concentration in the mesophyll cells. So the movement as water is lost from the leaves, pressure is created at the top to pull more water from the xylem to the mesophyll cells. So mesophyll cells are the cells which is present at the upper layer of the leaves. So through this, so in this only guard cells are present. So with the help of guard cells, water movements takes place. So that is only that process is called as the transpiration pull. This extends up to the root, causing the root to absorb more water from the soil to ensure continuous flow of water from the roots to the leaves. So what's the importance of transpiration? It creates transportational pull for, for transports of water, supply water for photosynthesis, transport mineral from soil to all parts of the plant, cools the surface of the leaves by evaporation, keeps the cell turgid, hence maintains their shape. So these are the importance of transpiration. So transpiration is done by the guard cells, and due to the turgidity and flaccid conditions of the guard cells, transpiration is done in plants. So next, let's see about what takes place in the root pressure. As ions from the soils are actively transported into the vascular tissues of the root, water moves along along and increases the pressure inside the xylem. This is called as the root pressure. So when the root or the root has absorbs the root, it causes a pressure inside the cells, and this inside the xylem, and this is called as a root pressure. So uptake of mineral, how does it takes minerals? So plants depends on minerals from the soil for importance for its nutrition. So how they takes the minerals from the soil? Two factors are involved in taking the minerals. Minerals are present in the soil as charged particles. They cannot move across the cell membrane. Next, the concentration of mineral in the soil is usually lower than the concentration of mineral in the root. So outer will be lower than the inner. So therefore it moves with the help of the changing or need of energies. So the need energy in the cytoplasm of the epidermal cells. So the needed energy is in the form of ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So when the phosphate is released or broken down, it gives us energy for the movement of water from the root cells or from the root hairs to the inner parts. Then translocation. So we have to see how they are translocated. Minerals are remobilized from the older dying leaves to the younger leaves. So when minerals are removed, they are again synthesized. This phenomena can be seen in deciduous plants. Elements like phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen and potassium are easily mobilized, while elements like calcium are not mobilized. Phloem transport. Phloem transport food from source to the sink. The source is the source is part of the plant that synthesize food. That is the leaf. Leaf is the source, and the sink is the part they need to store the food. So source and link are the two phenomena done in the phloem. Source is the where the food are synthesized, and sink is the where they are Stored. Storing area is called as the sink and synthesizing area is called as the source. Next, let's see the translocation of sugar. So, how sugars are translocated? The mechanism of translocation of sugar from the source to the sink is through pressure flow, that is hypothesis, that is glucose prepared at the source. So, glucose is the food materials prepared during photosynthesis and they are converted to sucrose. Then sucrose are moved into the companion cells and then into the living phloem sieve tube cells by active transport. So this process produces a hypertonic conditions in the phloem. So the food is synthesized in the form of glucose and they are stored in the form of sucrose. Next, let's see about the movement. So transportation of water and minerals, we have seen how they are transported with the help of the root pressure. Root pressure is created and transportation is done. Transportation. Next, we can see the ascent of sap. What is the ascent of sap? That is the upward movement of water and minerals from the root to different parts of the plant is called as the ascent of sap. So it is done by the following phenomena, that is by root pressure, capillary action, adhesion and cohesion of the water molecules, and also by the transpiration pull. What is root pressure? So root pressure we have already seen. This is done by osmosis. That is from higher concentration it moves to the lower concentration. Next, capillary action. How the capillary acts, that is water or any liquid rises as a capillary tube because of the physical forces, that is the phenomena is called as a capillary action. Then adhesion and cohesion of water molecules. What is adhesion and what is cohesion? Adhesion, the force of attraction between molecules of different substance is called as adhesion. The force of attraction between molecules of water is called as the cohesion. So attraction between water molecule is called cohesion and attraction between molecules of different substance is called as the adhesion. Then transpiration pull. Transpiration pull through Transpiration pull is through taking place through stomata that creates a vacuum pressure which creates a succussion. So it sucks the water from the down from the root particles or from the root. So that is only called as a transpiration pull. So the transpiration pull sucks the water column from the xylem tubes and thus the water is able to rise to a great height even in the tallest plant. So that's all students, we have seen about the transpiration in plants. So that's all. Transpiration is nothing but the evaporation. Then it is done by the root pressure. Root pressure is due to osmotic movement. Then we have seen about the ascent of sap. Ascent of sap is nothing but the uptake of water, the upward movement of water from the root to different parts of the plant. Thank you.